stage presence and your charisma on stage is more important than we even realize. It's almost hard to put it in words. It's something that we just kind of feel and see inside ourselves, and it reflects through the athlete, if that makes sense.
It does.
But
It does.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's everything, because it says 1,000 words without you having to say anything, and people can feel it. It's, if anything, it's your energy. The stage presence and your charisma is a direct flow of energy from the athlete to the judges to the fans. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see Brandon Hendrickson, Ryan Terry, Ali Bilal, Aaron Banks place so high, is because I'm getting chills.
Hey, welcome everyone. This is Gonzalo Herrero from Rise41, and today I have the incredible opportunity of a lifetime to have the three Men's Physique show hosts, collaborators together. Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. And I'm going to shamelessly say that I am a member of the Horde, and I am one of your supporters. So let's
go.
Once you start getting those T-shirts, you gotta get some, and we'll start promoting. But in any case, welcome, gentlemen. So for those of you who may be new to the Men's Physique realm, if you will, we've got Mr. Hart McGrath here, who's the heartbeat of Men's
legendary
Physique. The legend, absolutely. No, I've you've done a lot in a very short period of time. Hard, very impressive, just so you know. And then we have the Thunder from Down Under, Mr. Phil, aka Avomp, and we'll get into the Avomp later. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And last but absolutely not least, because we are a group of equals here, I've got Mr. Alim Bolton, who's an IFBB pro, correct?
That's
and
right.
The gaffer.
That's going on, folks.
Yeah, yeah. So, gentlemen, welcome. So the first question is really basic for our audience, people who might be new to Men's Physique. I know I was, and I'll explain that later. You guys are going to have probably a good laugh about this. But in any case, let's start with Phil. How did you first get pulled into the bodybuilding world, and what made you passionate enough to work with these guys? Because it's a lot of work what you guys do on the Men's Physique show.
Absolutely. Like I said, man, thanks for having us on the episode, man. We're really looking forward to really dive into what we're doing and talking about the Men's Physique community as a whole. But in regards to me, man, I actually got into the gym at a really young age. I was 15 years old when I first getting into the gym. And the reason behind me getting into the gym was I was a skinny guy growing up. And I've said this story a million times, and I love talking about it because I played soccer as a kid, and I played at quite a high level. And I played with some of the senior guys, being a 15, 16-year-old kid playing with the 22-year-old, the 23-year-old, 24-year-olds. I was kind of trying to find my feet. And there was this one time where my dad actually bumped into the coach, and the coach didn't know who I was, which was quite sad at the time. I'm playing in your squad. And he referred to me as a skinny kid. And when I found out about that, I'm like, you know what? I never want to be known as a skinny kid ever again. And that's where I started to dabble into training and bodybuilding and just physique development as a whole. Fast forward, 5 years from then, I thought about challenging myself, and I thought, you know what? Now's the time to really see how far I can get with this. And that's where I dabbled into my first bodybuilding competition, first Men's Physique competition. Did extremely well with it. Won the overall on the day, my first ever attempt at it. Wow. And I realized then and then that Men's Physique had a special place in my heart. And now, fast forward a couple of years from there, I'm talking with these boys every single day, talking about some of the best physiques in the world. Nice. And wouldn't want it any other way.
Love it. All right, flipping it over to Hart. Same question. Now you've got tons of stories. How did you first get into bodybuilding, and specifically then Men's Physique, and what we do now?
Man, that's such a good question. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How'd I get into bodybuilding? Growing up as a child, my dad always left a bunch of weights around the house in his room, and I would always do curls and look myself in the mirror while I would do curls. And I remember I was always kind of the first one age-wise. I was always like the youngest one in the gym, and there was always older kids. I always loved to see my body change, and I think genetically I was fairly gifted enough at a young age to start seeing development early on. And, obviously as a man, like I was addicted to that. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this
You
is
start seeing
cool.
those results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I'm kind of ahead of my peers, and my chest is coming in. I got these little delts going on. I just benched plate, in eighth grade. So
Yeah. Oh,
all
that's
that's
pretty good, actually. So,
yeah, not too bad. And then obviously three-sport athlete in high school, but I love the weight room more than anything. After high school, I didn't pursue any college athletics, but I still stayed in the gym. I still loved to train, and my body just continued to develop. Did a couple men's physique shows after that. Fully retired now, but still love to
okay.
train hard more than anything. I'll always be in the gym forever. Like it's
I love
embedded
it.
in me,
So
right?
it's
And
like it's part of your life, right? Once you get into
yeah.
that, it's so good. It's just so
It's so
good.
good. I'm so lucky to have this be such a part of me. But as far as getting into bodybuilding, I think as well in high school, just seeing Instagram develop, social media, I
Uh,
started to see men's physique pop on the scene. The Ryan Terrys, the Jeremy Buendias, the Brandon Hendrickson,
right.
and obviously that's the most relatable division physique wise to 99% of the guys walking on planet Earth. So I
Absolutely.
immediately attached my identity to men's physique. And yeah, that's how I got into bodybuilding. And now I still train in the gym, and here we are. I'm talking about it in Bali. I couldn't be more grateful.
I was gonna say like that's a very enviable position to be at such a young age too. So impressive, Hart, for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Alim, you're up, Mr. IFBB Pro.
Man, it was always been interested in sports, always been physical. Got into martial arts through my dad, Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, Tai Chi, boxing, and then started really hardcore into Muay Thai
Oh
and
well.
started fighting on the scene. Went to Thailand, fought there, fought here in the States, cage and ring and all, and it was fun. And then started getting older and was like, dude, like, shin splints and all
Yeah.
that, and broken bones here and there. Like, we might want to just revisit this or whatever. And
Start minimizing the damage for
yeah, minimize the
now you're
damage,
thinking
right? Yeah,
longevity and
going to work kind of hobbling a little bit sometimes from shin splints and all. So,
oh,
I said I always wanted to show my kids that, anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish.
love
I
that.
took a hiatus. I was training while also working and in IT. And then actually, at that time, I owned a luxury watch brokerage with a partner of mine. And then we,
Wow. Okay.
said, you know what? I was sitting on the couch one day. My wife was next to me. I had my shirt off. And she literally took her finger and went brr on the side of me and made a sound like that. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, you just rolled on my fatty rolls.
It's
And I was like,
on. It's on now.
I was like, forget this, right? Like, I got to get right. So literally, my one of my younger brothers called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, being made fun of my wife, and he's like, "I'm coming to get you. We're going to the gym." And then I didn't look back since then. And then
Nice.
fast forward, was strong as an ox, but wanted to have abs. Clarence McSpadden, who's like a younger brother to me, was like, "Dude, you need to get your diet right. Get with coach. Your abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym." Got with coach. About 3 months later, he was like, "You got something. You should step on stage." Stepped on stage. Won my first show. It was a rush, and then qualified for nationals. Went to nationals. Won nationals. Won overall,
Wow.
and got my pro card and 2 shows. And Tyler Manning gave me my card, and I was like, "Let's
Dang, bro,
ride out. Let's do this." Yeah. And
that's remarkable.
then I
That's
had always been following Hart, and we hooked up. We were chopping it up. Met Phil, and it was just like long lost brothers. It was like, these are my guys, and
yeah.
haven't looked back since. We're like the Three Musketeers, and we just we
So
roll.
as an unabashed fan, like I feel exactly what you're talking about. When I first started researching to men's physique, Hart came up very quickly in YouTube and Instagram. And I don't know, man, you've got charisma because it started, vibrating and listening and learning. And one of the things that I do love about men's physique that you touched upon, Alim, is the fact that it is achievable for 99% of the population, right?
Right.
Without the higher risk, one could say, of trying to, and the time to be like, say, an open class bodybuilder, which is a whole other, such a whole other thing, which actually leads me to another question. And this one, just you guys, whoever wants to take it, do your thing. Let's roll with it. And this is for, again, to establish a baseline for people who may be new to the sport. So what makes men's physique such a unique division compared to, say, classic or open for somebody who's new to the sport? How would you say that?
I think the biggest part is the fact that, just like Alim said, is extremely achievable for a lot of people. I mean, obviously a lot of guys want to walk on the beach with their top off, have a nice six pack, have a nice V taper, have the lines and not look like the big mass monsters. Obviously with men's physique and the evolution of it, the guys are getting bigger than what they were a couple of years back when Mark Anthony won the first one and when Jeremy Buendia won the first one. So there is always going to be an evolution to the sport, but I feel like just the attraction, even the model look of the guys. I mean, these guys can all be on the cover of a men's fitness magazine. So I feel like that's where the appeal of it comes from for a lot of people. And let's be honest, every girl, every female wants to be with a guy that kind of looks like that as well. So that helps the guys as well, right?
That's I would have to say, like, my experience with my wife, who I listen to at when it comes to that, is exactly that. It's like she's like, I see the for the open class, the level of commitment and the effort, and it's remarkable. But from a sheer aesthetic standpoint, for health, longevity, life, the men's physique standard is pretty hard to beat. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
they actually did a study and they looked and found, like, they asked just groups of women, like hundreds and hundreds of women, what's your perfect physique look like? And the vast majority went towards men's physique, and very few went towards open guys, right? Because it's just, you heard things like, oh, that's too much weight on top of me, that's too, that's
That's
that
important,
guy
right?
can't even
I mean,
see it,
that's
exactly
right?
that's a
And
practical limitation for
and
sure.
then the off season, obviously, these guys get even bigger. So
Right.
you're looking at all sorts of health challenges that come along with that. The pressure on the organs and the arteries and whatnot,
Yeah.
versus, and then the amount of gear that they have to take, the hard gear.
Yeah.
For men's physique, it's pretty. If you are on gear, it's pretty light. It's like, of course, you're going to get your testosterone and stuff like that. Maybe close to a show, you jump on some trend.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but you have, like, not that it's quote unquote safe per se, but it's safer than D-bol and a lot of the other harder drugs that you find with the open guys. So some Anavar, some Winstrol, whatever. But you're not going like hardcore, and also how long you're on it is also another factor, right? Like, so
Sure.
you're not on it for a long period of time. So I think that is the attraction for a lot of people. You see a lot of naturals that also compete in the pros, and it's achievable. So it's the look, it's longevity, it's symmetrically right, all of the above. Ladies like it, like Phil
Yeah,
said.
no, for
I
sure.
always listen to Phil when it comes to the ladies.
And I will say this is something that I found interesting. And again, I'm fairly new to the sport. Let's say under 2 years of actually learning and analyzing the sport, and having participated once now with my son, which I think I've shared that story with you guys. But one of the things that I've noticed is, as the division has changed, for example, it used to be known as the division for people with the weaker legs, say, or not as developed. That's changed a lot. Like, every dude on stage at the Arnold, every person had legs. I don't care what they say about us not having legs. Let me tell you, things have changed. Which, by the way, is my next question to you guys. Like, since you guys have been involved for a long time and you've seen the category and the division change, what have you seen that you would share with the audience? And do you see a future where we might have, like, like they just announced for women, they said fit model, or the which is the slightly less muscular? Do you think we're going to a point that our men's physiques men's physique athletes are getting so big that we're going to actually have to create another class again that's less muscular? What do you guys think about that? Is there a future there, maybe, or
Hart,
not?
you should hit that one. You've been watching
I
this
was
division the
just
entire
about to
time.
say,
Yeah.
Hart, take this one away.
Gonzalo, can you give me the question again? Do you mind?
Sure. So basically, you've seen the development of men's physique division from when it started to now, and we have seen that slowly but surely the total volume of mass, the musculature, is getting bigger and bigger. It's getting, Ryan Terry from this year's Olympia versus Ryan Terry from when he started, light years of difference, right?
Mhm.
However, they were competitive at both points, So the question is, do you think that there will come a point that as our men's physique guys get bigger, we're going to need another category again for like the less muscular folks to have a chance to then compete? Do you think that's something in the future, that there might be an extra category that's lighter?
Yeah, I do. I think it's inevitable. I think
Okay.
as human biology evolves and guys just train harder, there's more knowledge, we're just going to get bigger and we're going to get better. And I think we're seeing it already happen with the women's division with
Right.
Fit Model. So I think it's only a matter of time before they develop another smaller division, smaller than men's physique. I don't know what they'll call it, but
Mhm.
yeah, and I hope they do, because maybe if that happens, I'll do that one, because
You'll
I think
jump in there?
maybe I'll
Okay.
do that one, because I don't know about the men's physique these days. These guys are jacked. These, like,
Yeah.
and to your point about the evolution and the legs, I think
Mhm.
now more than ever, the judges are prioritizing balance. We see guys that have balance head to toe, and they're winning the Mr. Olympia. Think of Ryan Terry, and
Yeah,
think of the
for sure.
shorts, how he fills it out. Think of Brandon Hendrickson. From head to toe, these guys are balanced. It's no longer loose shorts, skinny legs, massive upper body. Balance is absolutely key.
Absolutely true.
I almost think the IFBB is using the fit model as kind of like a market
Tester?
research strategy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
because when you think about, you think about how many bikini athletes there are around the world. You think about, they were very similar to the men's physique guys at the Olympia, where there was 70 odd competitors on the stage. So they know how marketable
Yeah.
these two divisions are. So to Hart's point, I think it's inevitable. We saw it with the gap between Classic and the Open. They then introduced the 2-on-2 category. So I feel like it's only a matter of time where the physiques are going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they kind of need to close that gap between your normal everyday gym goer and the person who wants to compete at the highest level, which is the Mr. Olympia bodybuilding competition. So yeah, matter of time.
All right. So kind of leaning into that a little bit. When you guys watch a show together, or an event, or participate, and as we do our assessment as we see the show. So how often do you actually agree on placings? Like, are you guys usually kind of in the same ballpark, or do you guys have your own version of how this should go? I'd love to hear that.
Amongst ourselves, I would say that we are pretty much spot on, because we talk so much and we evaluate physiques so much together that, like,
Mhm.
we kind of have a similar eye. But I would say, regarding the judges, we're a lot of times we're right on with the judges during that period of time. We talk with a lot of the judges. We understand where they're coming from. There's variables that you don't really pick up when you're watching a show, and especially when you see just a static picture. And most of your casual fans only look at these static still pictures, front shot, back shot, and they go, "Oh, I'm making my assessment based on that." But they don't really look at, what the criteria is for that division,
Mhm.
what's actually happening on stage. Like, is your tan running? Are you sweating?
Yeah.
Are you fading while you're on the stage next to someone else? Like, these are all additional variables that go into the judging. So
Yeah.
we go into it on that level of intricacy,
Mhm.
not just looking at it from a static position. So normally we're right on with us, and uh, there are great judges in the IFBB, and we're normally right in line with them. Sometimes there's a little bit of like, what, like, what?
Discrepancy.
Yeah, discrepancy, like, but then you hear their assessment and you find out, even amongst judges, obviously, the judges don't score identical with one another, right? So some will have, for instance, recently, Ben Quill. Some people had Ben Quill in the fifth slot over Dilson Espindola, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can make the argument either way, but when you hear the rationale behind the judges, and it actually coincides with ours, which is, he started to fade, this, that, and the third. Like, yeah, initially you look better, but then you started to fade. So that's why you slipped into that sixth position.
Mhm.
Um, and we were fortunate enough to have a conversation with Ben, and kind of aired that out. Like, dude,
Mhm.
you were there, your lines were all sharp, but come comparisons towards the end, you were fading, and you find out that he was actually sick and he had a fever and all this other stuff, and
Gotcha.
so yeah, I mean your body's going to show that. But do you
Yeah.
look good initially when you first came on stage? Yeah, you looked incredible. You looked top four, top
Uh,
five for sure.
Yeah,
But
and I think you hit on something really important, especially for people who are newer to the sport, that this, by the way, crystallized for me at the Arnold this year. And it is that watching it live and with motion versus pictures tells an entirely different story because of flow, because when that picture is taken, it's that snapshot in time, right? So did that guy happen to hit the post just right when that picture got taken? Was it slightly before, slightly after? All these things matter, and what you said about somebody on stage, especially, man, they make some of these guys work on that pose and, like, move, switch, move this guy, that guy, give me the pose, give me the other pose. It's a lot of work happening up there that people just don't understand, and
yeah,
and if you're a newer fan to bodybuilding, it's light years of difference seeing the live thing where you can see the lighting correctly, where you can see what folks are doing, where you can even see before they even get on stage what vibe they're bringing. That's another one.
yeah,
The vibe is
yeah.
huge. Like, are you confident? Are you cocky? Are you not feeling 100% nervous? All of these things, matter, for sure, for sure. Which, by the way, leads to the next one, because I'm all about the questions. So, if in as far as you guys are concerned in men's physique today, what three factors matter the most? Structure, conditioning, presentation? What would you say makes your competitor, a dangerous level athlete? What makes your competitors, your favorites, like, so good? If you had to name three factors.
Hart, you
Phil.
taking this?
Yeah,
Oh,
Hart, you
shoot.
take this
Go,
one.
Phil. Go, Phil.
All right, Phil.
What three factors? I think symmetry is going to play a key
Okay.
part. Obviously, structure, flow, everything that you really touched on. I feel like for you to place the best and be one of the best in the world, you got to tick off majority of those boxes. I don't think you can miss out on one and be considered the best in the world. So muscle maturity, density, flow, structure, presentation, density, they're all key. They're all key parts. And when you see the best in the world, they've all got those parts. And when you're at the top of the food chain there, you're kind of splitting hairs. They make it very, very hard for the judges these days. I saw
Yeah.
you guys smiling. I thought my microphone was off for a second. I'm
I just
looking.
took a,
No,
I
you're
took a
good.
No,
quick
You're
no.
photo.
good.
I took a
We
quick
will,
photo.
we will tell you. We
He
will
took a quick
tell you
photo
for
of
sure.
you dropping some gems. I actually agree. I agree a lot with everything Phil said. I would say I would put symmetry further down the list, only because you take someone like Ali Bilal, and
Yeah.
he can hide some athletes can hide their weaknesses and their imbalances.
Uh,
So I think, to Phil's point, conditioning is high on the list. Muscle development is very, very high on the list. Symmetry from a up and down perspective. So,
mhm.
not being so top heavy or bottom heavy is important. Posing, I would say, is very, very high on the list,
Yeah.
because that's really going to be the vehicle that hides or exposes your weaknesses and your strengths, right? So, like, how you pose, is it the right pose for your physique? Some people should not be doing the Superman pose with both hands on hip, a
Yeah.
front on pose, right? Some people should not be doing a side pose, because they don't have obliques or whatever, right? Or good cap shoulders or something. So, like, your
Yeah.
pose has to fit your physique.
Mhm.
Um, and your conditioning, not only condition in terms of, like, how saran wrap the skin is to the muscle and you can see all the definition,
Right.
but also how long can you stand on stage in a contracted pose still
Right.
smile and breathe through your chest instead of your stomach and not start to sweat. Those are the level of conditioning that you have to be in order to be on stage, especially on the pro levels. The amateur level you could get away with, some things, but on the pro level you have to definitely be ready to go and check all those boxes.
Okay, so following along those lines, what do you think about stage presence and charisma? How important is it compared to just pure physique quality? If you have any more thoughts on that. So,
Man,
mhm,
yeah. How important is stage presence
and
and
charisma, mhm,
and
and
charisma?
charisma versus
Um,
just you're a unit. You're like perfect physically, but you might not have charisma. Like how do you value that? What are you looking
It's
for
a
when
good
you see that
question.
person coming up on stage? Like what draws your eye?
that's a great question. What that makes me think of is imagine Aaron Banks,
I was just
perfect.
thinking Aaron Banks, dude. I went I went Aaron Banks right away. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, bro.
Watch where I take
You were
this
in
up.
my head. That's how
Watch where I
much we
take this
vibe.
up.
Yeah.
Imagine Aaron Banks coming onto the scene in 2021, battling against Brandon Hendrickson. He comes with that perfect physique, right? But instead of being the cocky, confident, best stage presence on the stage, he was the exact opposite. And he was nervous, and you could see it, and maybe it affected his posing a little bit. I think stage presence and your charisma on stage is more important than we even realize. And it's almost hard to put it in words. It's something that we just kind of feel and see inside ourselves, and it reflects through the athlete, if that makes sense.
It
But
does. It does.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's everything because it says 1,000 words without you having to say anything, and people can feel it. It's, if anything, it's your energy. The stage presence and your charisma is a direct flow of energy from the athlete to the judges to the fans. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see Brandon Hendrickson, Ryan Terry, Ali Bilal, Aaron Banks place so high, is because I'm getting chills. This is how you know I love this shit. Sometimes I just get these crazy chills.
No, I got you.
Uh,
I got you. I
you
totally
feel me on it?
understand. It's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really all. Boys, you want to add to that at all?
I would say that the you look at like why Brandon, one of the reasons why Brandon Hendrickson beat Vitor in the
Mhm.
Arnold, right? And
Right.
Vitor looked incredible. I mean, we call him V
He
Taper
did.
for a reason, right?
Yeah.
V
We
Taper
were both there.
Chavez.
We saw it.
Yeah, it was incredible. But
Yeah.
Brandon looked incredible also. Brandon owned the stage. I mean, he literally was like, "This is my abode," smiling all the time, crunched abs all the time, always contracted with the abs.
Mhm.
The he would hit his shot and know that I'm hitting this front shot and I
Yeah.
am confident in it. And it exuded ownership of the stage.
Yeah.
When Vitor hit it, he looked great. He looked impressive for sure.
Mhm.
Like incredible flow and physique. Beautiful V taper. One of the best in the league. But he looked more like he was trying to win in a sense. Like I want to get there, and Brandon
Uh-huh.
looked like he was already there. And and
Oh,
and,
good
and to
point.
me, that was part of the difference. Like Brandon looked like it was already his.
Yeah.
He looked like I'm so comfortable on the stage. When he does that little step back and has his arm up, and you can see
Yeah.
all the lines, and like he does that so confidently because he knows the physique is there. He knows that the training is there. The posing. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Like I'm good. Like
Yeah.
Vitor looked like, oh my God, I'm next to Brandon Hendrickson and I have a shot here, and oh my gosh, kind of
And I gotta push.
and I got to push, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was part of the difference. I agree with you, Hart. Like you look at Sean T when Sean T did the Alabama show, Body B1 last year, and he came and he was doing all the dancing and everything, and he was hype. He didn't care. I think he plays better because he did that than if he just went up there, posed, and with his physique and just left. I think because he owned that, that's why he placed even better. So
Yeah, I was going
What
to
do you
say
think?
this on that as well. Like, think about Ryan Terry at the last year's Olympia. The minute he walked on stage, like he was hyped up, he was having a good time. He was kind of very similar to what you were saying, Gaffer. Like he was almost dancing. He had his hands up in the air. The music flowed with his posing routine. Like he looked like he was having a good time. And I feel like the judges get energy from that. Like it's almost like I don't know, when you're in a group of friends and there's always that one energetic kid, everyone always it draws everyone's attention. So I feel like, yeah, to your point, Gaffer, to Hart's point as well, I feel like the energy that you bring just by your presence, by your presentation, does definitely play a part with placing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, by the way, I just saw Hart drop, so hopefully it's just a connectivity issue. I'm keeping my eye on it, making sure that he can get right back in. So.
Bali internet for you.
Yeah, there
he's,
you go.
he's
I
texting
mean,
us now. He's texting us now. I think his internet just dropped real quick.
okay, all right. But you know what?
They've
On
got
with
a
the show.
special thing. They've got a special thing going on tomorrow. I don't know if you know about Bali. He shared it with us.
Yeah, no.
They shut down, like all of Bali is shut down tomorrow for this holiday. Like you can't even fly into the airport or fly out. Everything is shut down. You can't have lights on at night. He was telling us also the stores are all closed. I was like, what is this? Like,
do you know the reason behind it? I actually found out the reason behind that.
No,
what is it?
Bali has this thing where, obviously being a Buddhist sort of country, they shut off all the lights and the electricity so the bad spirits don't come into the island. So what the reason behind it is there's shadow of darkness where the spirits fly over the island and avoids it for the year. So that's a little fun fact for everyone. That's why.
That's super
great
interesting.
intel.
Yeah. I'm the man of fun facts. That's why his internet dropped out, because maybe the ghosts got there a day early.
They might have just showed up knocking on the door. You got the Australian voice of men's physique dropping information and gems on us. I love it.
Remember, listen to these people, Horde.
Exactly.
These are the people I know. So, and hey, along those lines, in your opinion, here's another thing to consider. Should the division reward, in your opinion, the bigger physiques, or stay focused on the aesthetics and the beach body look? It feels like we're very near that turning point we were talking about, right? Where it might change into like the criteria themselves might change. What are your thoughts?
I think the aesthetics will always be superior. When the mass does, we are getting to a point where mass is playing a part. Obviously, these guys are getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single year. And it's actually a good thing that the IFBB have introduced the weight caps to allow the guys to get as big as they possibly can before needing to make the move and jump into a division, very like Classic Physique, where you're able to grow a little bit more. Now, one thing that I've always believed is, very similar to what we saw with Urs from the Miracle Bear. Yeah. He is a bodybuilder. He loves bodybuilding. He loves getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But when he had to compete, he had to shred down so much to a point where he felt like he was in a position where he wasn't able to enjoy bodybuilding anymore and enjoy why he got into bodybuilding, which was to get as big as he could possibly be, which is why he made the jump. But I do believe, in regards to this division, in regards to men's physique, aesthetics is always going to be rewarded. Aesthetic is always going to be the one factor that these judges and that the IFBB won't overlook. And for that reason, that, like I said, the weight cap's there for a reason. If you're someone who wants to get bigger, maybe Classic Physique is the way to go.
Yeah, that's actually where I was thinking about. Is men's physique slowly turning into Classic Physique and board shorts? There could be an argument to be made there. I met Jeremy Buendia when I was there. We actually chatted for a few minutes. The most pleasant guy ever. Incredible vibe and energy.
But did he show you his hair?
Say what?
Did he show you his hair?
What? No.
Oh, okay.
Get that bandana up the whole time.
He did. He did at that time. Absolutely. What, did he just go to Turkey?
Yes, he did.
It's the worst, best kept secret in bodybuilding.
Exactly. Turkey must love the bodybuilding community these days.
Absolutely. You hear everybody going there. So
he went to the same place Chris Bumstead went to, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They reached out to him, and he went out there. Yeah.
Well, that's hilarious. I didn't even realize. Good thing I didn't ask. So in any case, and what I was getting to with him is that I noticed, his arms. Now, I'm a relatively small dude. I'm 5'8", currently I'm 205. I'm in my I just hit that rebound, right? So I'm like growing like a weed. But Jeremy's biceps were bigger than my head, man. He is huge. Like, he could easily compete in Classic right now. I see just shred down and go out, get on stage. So are you guys thinking that's where we're headed? Are we turning into classic physique and board shorts?
I don't think so. I think that the league, especially this year, they're going to start judging and announcing
Mhm.
um, and rewarding the physiques that are more in line with the look. And I think that they have really identified. Remember, men's physique has only been around for a little over a decade.
Right.
Um, versus your open and classic guys and all that have had the opportunity to be around a little bit longer. So um, they've now, I think, identified what they're looking for in men's physique in order
Mhm.
to keep it as that initial springboard for people to get into the bodybuilding as a whole, into the ecosystem. And
Right.
I think that based on just talking with judges and speaking with Tyler and a few others, that Mike. They're gonna definitely make sure that the division stays as a men's physique division
Yeah.
and not venture into classic. I do think that it's interesting, and it's I guess it depends on how you look at it. On one hand, you have people who are like people are going for their pro card and their classic physique looking, and then they put the board shorts on,
Yeah.
and they think that that's the easy way in order to get your men's physique card. And
Right.
then you've got guys who are um, on the other side of the fence that are like, oh, it's great because
Right.
I just want to be able to get my pro card and then scale up in my weight and all. And it's different. It's two different theories or viewpoints of the same thing, if you will.
Yeah.
I think if you just come in great, you'll crush it. I've never been really a huge guy like that. I've never stepped on stage over 200 pounds. I'm always around 180, 178
Mhm.
ish around there. Um, and I stay around there because from a aesthetics perspective, there he is.
The monkey boy is back.
Let's
There we
go.
go. Let's go.
When I stepped on stage, I was beating these guys who were bigger because to Phil's point, aesthetics, are more important. How you flow, what's the look, your conditioning. Can you hold the pose? Do your lines fade out? Are you breathing through your stomach? Like all these things are variables that go into it. And you get a dude who's just like looks good in the mirror with that one shot that he looks at himself in the mirror, the same look all the
Right.
time. That's not gonna win the show.
Yeah, it's not going to translate on stage for sure.
No,
Yeah,
not.
that's
I mean, if you could
yeah.
just hit that and just stay there,
Yeah.
great. But you got to turn around. You got to do transitions. There's
Yeah.
so many other factors.
Mm.
So, you come in peeled to the bone, and you'll probably take a dude like that out who
Yeah.
only looks good in that one shot in the mirror.
Absolutely. And another thing I was gonna that I noticed is that notice that everyone, for example, using the Arnold since it just happened, every one of the gentlemen in men's physique was a good looking dude. And I mean just like handsome looking. You cannot have you can have that freak factor in open and be like crazy looking and it's not an issue. But I feel like in men's physique, to really do well, you really have to bring everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean everything, down to like your skin, your lack of wrinkles, your good looking facial features. Like that's critical.
Mm.
Unlike
What?
the other categories, it feels like anyway.
Yeah. One thing I've always said is I feel like men's physique has always been the beauty pageant of bodybuilding. Like the guys always look the part. The guys have the whitest teeth. The guys have the nicest skin. They've got the perfect hairstyle. They're all very similar to what I said earlier. I mean, these guys, you can literally pull them out of a bodybuilding show and put them straight onto a men's physique or a men's fitness magazine cover. So yeah, I agree. I feel like the overall look, it's not just about the physique as a whole, but it's about the person from head to toe, front to back, left to right, that makes a good men's physique athlete. So like you said, and one thing I also wanted to touch on about the last point in regards to, men's physique, is there a chance they're just going to be like a classic physique guys in shorts? I feel like that won't be the case because in regards to genetic potential, the guys that are the best in men's physique have the structure. They've got the wide clavicles. They've got the smaller waist. If you were to put a guy who's structurally built for men's physique in classic, they wouldn't look right. They just don't have the body type and they don't have the structure for that. And same vice versa. If you had a guy that had a bit of a wider waist but he was structurally the same. You put him in men's physique, you could hide it as much as you can, but you just don't have the structure and the proportions and just the body type to be in that category as well. So yeah, I know some people, they look themselves in the mirror sometimes and like, oh yeah, I could be a classic physique guy, but then when you put them in the trunks, it's like, you don't look classic physique. Like you're better suited for men's physique, and then vice versa as well.
Gotcha.
Do you boys know that there are many athletes in men's physique that actually apply makeup before they get on stage? So that's part of their.
It did not, but it wouldn't.
Yeah, they put foundation on. The eyebrows are done.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff because, again, to your point, Gonzo, this is it's bodybuilding, but with beauty. The beauty caveat. So Ben Quill does it. A lot of people do it, right? Mehdi Kabaj. So you see guys like really dolled up and look like they are pristine and statuesque, as Phil says.
Yeah,
and they get on stage, man, and that's what everybody sees. So
yeah. It's absolutely noticeable as an overall trend in the division, for sure. Like the grooming, the aesthetics, not just the musculature, not just the athletics side, but the actual grooming. Grooming is it's huge. You don't see like the crazy beards that you see sometimes with like some of our other divisions, for example. There's none of that. It's a huge factor. So, all right. So more questions, fun stuff. Let's play with some fun stuff. Social media physiques versus stage physiques. Hart is gonna go all over this one. Yeah,
Mike, you want to check your mic, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're good.
Awesome.
You're good. Yeah. So social media physiques versus those like what we call the stage physique. Are Instagram stars kind of misleading people about what wins shows? You guys think?
Alim, you take this one.
All right. Yeah. Are they misleading? Some. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Okay.
people can look good with the right lighting and no one else around. That's why judges look at more comparisons than your actual routine. So the routine is they always say the routine is for the fans, and the audience and your family who came to see you and all that. And the actual, comparisons are what the judges are sitting in their seats for, because they want to see you up against the next person. Remember, at the end of the day, they want to see who's the best here today. And the only way to see that is to see you standing next to everybody or the best on that day. Not you by yourself. That's not really gonna, like, no one's taking your measurements and taking a mental snapshot of exactly what you look like by yourself. So yeah, people look good on Instagram. I mean, they get the lighting right, they stick in their stomachs, even hit the filter, on it or whatever. There's a guy who goes around and actually checks and calls people out for warping and, truncating their waist and stuff online, and you could see like the panels of a wall in the back, kind of slanting
kind of like
in.
come in.
Yeah.
Rather
Goob,
than
I think his name is Goob or something like that. But
uh-huh.
anyway, it's funny. I think that you have to be very cautious as a newbie, for sure, looking at influencers who are online giving advice or looking a certain way and then thinking, oh, I want to look like that or I want to achieve that, because it could be deceiving. It could be very, very deceiving. The guys who are on stage, they have a routine, they have a diet, they stick to the script, they have a workout regimen, they know how to train, they know how to diet, they have coaches. They're not just willy-nilly, hoping that it's going to work out. The only one who's doing that and has had a little bit of success is Sam Sulek. Other than him, there's really nobody who goes by themselves. Ryan Terry now, but he doesn't have a coach, but in a sense, but Ryan Terry's always been doing it since the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and he just recently, before he started winning his three championships in a row, thanks to Hart McGrath right there, by the way, who challenged him. True story. Check us out on the Men's Physique Show and watch that Ryan Terry and Amy Terry video. He even admitted. Quick plug. But,
nice. I'm going to have to check that out. I hadn't seen that.
Oh, man, it's a great episode for sure. They drop a lot of information about just, supporting an athlete, how she supports him, the trials and tribulations that they've been through as a couple in the game. I mean, he drops tons of secrets about working out, diet, the whole nine, champion mindset, the whole gist. So, yeah, awesome episode. You guys want to check that out. But
yeah, you guys send me the link and I'll put it in the comments so that we can have like the folks here, especially folks that are again new, because one of the things I would love to do is to introduce people to, especially normies, let's say, to men's physique, that not all bodybuilding has to be extreme.
Right.
That bodybuilding can be actually healthy and you look good, and not look, it's not about the freak factor all the time,
Right. Well,
So,
and so from that perspective, that's just my gist. Like, don't invest all your eggs in that basket for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. All right. So, let's go into some Olympian division prediction stuff to get the
Ooh.
horde engaged or outraged. Who knows? Let's see. So, open question. Whoever wants to get it, go get it. I'm going to throw it in the air. Who do you think is the most dangerous rising competitor in men's physique right now?
Phil, just by the way you breathe in and lean back a little bit and touch that mic, I want you to go. I already know.
He already claimed that. Go ahead.
There's only one name, Jushen He out of China, came sixth at last year's Olympia. He is an exciting young talent. I mean, came out of the blocks last year. Really shocked the world. Just his proportions, the size, how small his waist is. He's going to be a guy in the coming years to keep an eye out on. He definitely has what it takes to win it. And I know that there's a couple of guys in that top 5 that are keeping their eyes on him as well, because he's going to be dangerous in 2026.
Nice.
I love that, Phil, and I agree with you. I think that if there's anyone who could actually take it right now, it would be Jushen He. Francisco Martinez is high on my list too.
Okay.
He's a newbie. Francisco Martinez out of Paraguay,
Mhm.
as Hart says it.
Yeah.
Incredible athlete. He looks amazing. I got him up there high on the list too. What
All
about
right.
you?
What
Hart?
about you, Hart? Do you have anyone you want to call out that you think is dangerous rising competitor in your that's different?
Ooh, rising competitor. I first of all, I agree with the GAFA with Francisco. I agree with Australian voice of men's physique with Jushen He. Maybe not a rising guy, but a guy that we haven't seen hit the Olympia stage in a while that's going to shake everything up is
Ooh, I know
Chiron
who you
Holden.
said. Yes,
I knew you were
Yeah.
going with that.
I knew he was going there.
Yeah.
I knew he was going there. Chiron is
Yeah, I think with Chiron Holden coming back to men's physique, I don't know if Terry will admit it. I don't know if Brandon will actually admit it, but I think Chiron has the potential to be the Mr. Olympia. Like if Chiron won the Mr. Olympia in 2026, I don't think it would be a surprise to anyone because he has all the attributes that you need that we've talked about over the last 45 minutes to be the Mr. Olympia. He already has it. He's already beaten Brandon multiple times. He's already beaten Terry multiple times. He's always beaten Banks multiple times. With Chiron and his coach DJ Pure, it's all about bringing the perfect package in the morning on that Saturday show day for the Olympia. If Chiron does that, hey, that's my
Sky's
guy.
the limit.
That's my guy.
All right. So you would say, because that led to my next question, which was, what athlete do you think is one improvement away from winning the Olympia? Would it be Chiron for you?
Chiron for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I second that.
You guys agree?
I third
Chiron
that.
for me
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, he took a year off last year. Obviously secured his Olympia qualification later last year, so he's got a bit more time in comparison to the rest of the pack who are all fighting for their qualification. He's jumping on stage in 6 weeks time, 7 weeks time at the Pittsburgh Pro. He's going to be up against some of the best. He's going to be up against Ali Bilal, Edvan Palmera, Aaron Banks. So this is going to be a test for Chiron to see if he does have what it takes to knock off, number 2 in the world, number 4 in the world, number 5 in the world. And if he can do that, I'm sure Ryan Terry will be keeping a close eye on him.
And if you think about it, guys, think about the guys that need improvements to be the Mr. Olympia. Terry, no, he's good. You think about Brandon and you think about Ali, they both struggle with the same thing. They need to dramatically improve their backs. When you think about the guys that just need a very minor tweak, which pretty much is just to come in peaked perfectly, that could take down Ryan Terry or has the best chance, I think of Chiron Holden, I think of Aaron Banks. Like both of those guys, there's no body parts that we critique on a weekly basis, say, man, if he just brings up that back, if he just brings out those abs, it's like Chiron's complete. from head to toe, from
Yeah.
the legs all the way up to the charisma. Everything is there. Banks the same way. With those two guys, it's just about coming in correctly. And then if they come in correctly, Ryan Terry's gonna have his hands full. Ryan Terry's my boy, but he
Yeah.
he better not miss if Chiron and Banks come in money.
Man, can you guys see like a crazy scenario where like Chiron or one of those guys, like say, wins it? Like you said, they just bring that package and then they just hit everything right, and they beat, say, they take the Olympia, they beat Ryan, but they also leapfrog past Ali Bilal. How do you think that would work for Ali? Like, what do you think would happen there?
I like that question. I think Ali is going to be fine nonetheless, and he's just got a winner's mentality. He's got so much fortitude. It wouldn't rattle him where he would need time off to contemplate the universe and stuff like that. He's not built that way. He's built differently. Ali, like on our episode we had on the first of the year that we dropped, Ali has seen his dad die in front of him. Ali has walked 14 countries and slept outside in the street. He's just built differently, and now he's a multimillionaire. He's playing with borrowed time. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
Not
possibly,
like the other guys would maybe. Some other guys might be a little bit more. It might rattle them more. But to your point, Hart, Chiron is one of those guys that could leapfrog everybody right into the number one slot, own it, especially now that the division has outlined and kind of looked at what they perceive to be men's physique. Chiron was ahead of his time. He was the biggest dude, but still within the look, and had the silhouette, had the look and everything, but just really big. And now that's the look that they're looking for in men's physique. So I think that the league is caught up to him, not that he's caught up to the league. And if he comes in with that pristine, crispy, turkey bacon type skin conditioning that he and DJ Pure can absolutely put together for him, man, I'm telling you, like, it's going to be a problem. So I agree 100% with you, Hart.
It's going to be hard to beat.
I love that when you said the league's caught up to Chiron. That's actually spot on.
So dangerous people to be on the lookout for. Okay, guys, how about let's do a quick lightning round with 2 or 3 questions, just real quick, just to see where you guys are at. You guys ready for this?
Let's do this.
The speed round. All right.
We're on the opposite side of the fence now, boys.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, and this is gonna be the this I think is where we're gonna generate the viral clips right here.
All right.
with people saying stuff. So, all right. So let's keep the energy high. First question, lightning round. First name that pops into your head. Best men's physique champion of all time.
Damn, he came out.
You get
he
to
came
pick
out
one.
guns blazing, bro.
Like I said, let's make some content, bro.
Brandon.
Brandon.
Raymond.
Y'all agree?
Raymond Edmonds.
Raymond.
The first tall guy
he's tall.
ever to win
'cause he's
Mr.
tall.
Olympia, and I'm
Yeah, you're
100%
so
biased
biased.
because we're the same height.
Exactly. It's because Hart's tall. That's why.
You could have said Aaron.
Why did you say Mark Anthony?
Because Mark Anthony.
Why do you think Mark Anthony?
Because Aaron did it after Ray. So to me, Aaron
Okay.
followed in Raymond's.
I
Raymond
got
laid the path.
Like he pioneered. Okay.
I say Brandon because he'll bring the smoke anywhere in China, the Arnold, Olympia, New York Pro, Miami Pro. He doesn't care. He will bring the smoke. Anyone who wants it. He's not scared to put himself out there, and he's got the accolades to prove it and back it up.
That's fair. All right. Next question. You guys ready? Hands on the buzzer. Here we go. Who has the best shoulders in the division right now?
Corey Morris.
Corey Morris.
Fabrizio Dos Santos.
Oh, that's a good
Fabrizio Dos Santos.
Get
yes.
off of me.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah,
boys.
yeah.
That was nice. That was a
Do
nice
you know
one.
Gonzalo,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
him?
I do not, but I'm going to be a fan.
Best
Huge
shoulders
doubts.
in the league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Corey
Gonna make
Morris
a
would be
return.
number 2B. He'd be 1B.
Yeah.
Corey Morris. Yeah.
All right. Best waistline in the division. Who's got that? Because remember, now we're all growing now. All of a sudden, the waistlines are starting to change and shift, it seems to me, in the last couple of years.
Like smallest,
So-
like tightest waist.
Best
It's-
quality that you think as
I'm
a
going
judge,
Vito.
like you're judging, this guy walks
Brandon.
on stage and go, that dude.
I think
I'm
Brandon
going
has the
Vito.
best.
Brandon.
When you say waist, you're not just talking the size of the waist. You're talking about like the
Quality.
core, the abs,
Quality.
and everything. Or
yeah, quality.
just-
Like you see the guy's waist and you're like, this dude's got the best waist abs core
Guillermo
in the
Galberto out
division?
of Brazil.
Okay. The Brazilians always do so
You
well,
know-
by
He's
the
up
way.
there.
You guys know who I'm talking about? Guillermo Galberto?
Absolutely. I think he's definitely up there, but I still think that Brandon has the best waist. When we're talking abs and obliques and all that, I think he's got the best right now.
And do you think he has the best also because he's so well proportioned? You
Yeah,
know,
he
He
is
looks
looks
that-
good.
sick, dude. Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow, that looks
exactly what you're
pretty
talking- he looks
amazing, though.
sick. He's crazy.
I'm cheating with
Yeah.
photos.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We can bring. We didn't put up any rules. It's okay.
All
We
right,
can
I'm
bring
getting
in the
ready.
audio visuals. Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for the next one. I got my phone ready. I'm sure.
All right. So, kind of following along now, best stage presence. The guy that walks on and leads the place and owns the stage. Because I've
Ali?
got the one I know, but
Ali Bilal is up there for me.
really,
I like Chiron.
interesting.
I like Brandon.
I was gonna say Brandon was my choice, not just because I just met him and he hugged me and told me that I'm incredibly jacked for a 54-year-old. See how,
That's
see how
brownie
he
points.
makes his. That's how he makes his fans, bro. Because now, how can I? Like, I'm an E-Man. I'm in Alabama, so I'm an E-Man fan, of course. You know, and in my heart, I really wanted him to like come in hard and strong at the Arnold, and I even told Brandon, just so you know, it's like, brother, I am hoping that you prove me wrong, but I'm from Alabama. I have to kind of root for my homeboy a little bit. And he said, Gonzalo, just for you, I'm going to prove you wrong. And he did. And he did. He
You're a brave
totally
man.
did. Yeah. No, but he was great. He was probably out of the big pros that I was hoping to meet. Probably, I mean, they were all awesome in their own way, but there was something special about Brandon. He has an energy, a calm, cool, sun-like energy aura. You know what I mean? Like warm and giving, and makes you really comfortable when you're talking to him because he doesn't know me from Adam, and it's like we were friends. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's a great
Just-
guy.
yeah, he's
Very
just an amazing individual. So
Hey, I only said Ali because I said Brandon so much, but
Uh-huh.
when you look at
I
all
know.
the details, you know, yeah, you know. But when you look at all the details that Brandon does when he's on stage with the panning of his body from one end to the other without moving his body like a mannequin on display. I mean, the step back, you know, the Henderson squeeze, the smile, always has his head up, chest is always up, like he's always in the right position. Yeah, I mean, he owns it. And then at the end, when he even does this, you know, the Buddhist temple prayer and everything, the 36 chambers of death that he's just laid on everybody, and then pumps his fists at the end, like, yeah, he's got a vibe, bro. Yeah,
for
I agree
sure.
with you, Hart.
All righty. So we're coming up on the top of the hour. Now it's time to plug the best men's physique show of all time. What do you want the men's physique show to become in the bodybuilding media space over the next 5 years? What would you guys
Alim?
like?
Gaffer, this is all you, mate.
We will achieve
Mhm.
being the multimedia engine for all of bodybuilding at some point soon. And
Oh, so we're not
it's-
limiting ourselves to men's physique.
men's physique is near and dear to our hearts. Men's physique is what got the three of us not only in the game but also together.
Right.
But where we plan to take things is so far beyond where everybody is even thinking. We are very delusional in our thoughts, and it's through this delusion that we've been able to be innovators, and we love being in that space. So where we'll be is we intend to make sure that men's physique for starters is a household name. So we want these
I love that.
athletes to be household names. By doing that and achieving that, it's going to make more money, more popularity, better diets, better information, more fans. Everything grows by being able to achieve that goal. And
I
we
love
are,
that.
as of right now, looking at our trajectory, we're ahead of schedule from what we even planned. So far,
Oh,
so
that's great.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear. And I'm hoping, you know, that we can put a positive spin into the sport. You know, our sport, due to its very nature, it's I guess it's a little different than most other sports because, for example, you can be a basketball fan and never play basketball. You could, like literally be a fan of baseball and never play it. But the fans of bodybuilding are participants because we all love to work out. We love our fitness. We know what it takes to get on that stage. So if you guys spread that message, man, with the Men's Physique show eventually being the bodybuilding show, I'm hoping, for you guys. I mean, that'd be phenomenal. That's how I landed here. It was through the pursuit of health for my son and myself that I found myself here. It wasn't just out of, well, there was some vanity. There was, I like being I'll be honest with you, I like being the guy at the high school reunion that they're like, damn, he looks good. While these other guys are like holding onto their visceral fat, So,
Hey Gonzo, speaking of which, the
Mhm.
boys and I just want to say how amazing, and we'll have to ask maybe off because I know we're coming up on time here, but
Sure, sure.
amazing how you stepped on stage with your son. What a historic and monumental memory to make with you and your son and just the family in general. Like I'm sure everybody was impacted by that, was along
Thank
for the
you.
journey, and those effects are going to impact your grandkids and even
Yeah.
beyond that, because when this story comes up and they see the pictures and everything, the joy, the happiness, the dedication that it took, the togetherness, that's going to really resonate. So, we just want to give you props for doing
Well,
that and
thank you.
going
Thank you.
down
I
that road,
really,
especially
I,
in latter years, right? Because I mean,
yeah,
we're as young as we want to be. To be
yeah.
honest, like your mind, age is a matter of the mind. Take care of yourself, eat right, have the right mentality, right spirit, in the right place. You try to do right by people. Like you're going to probably be pretty young for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with you. I feel better. I'm 54. I feel better at 54 than I ever did in my 20s or 30s. And I mean by far. Like 54-year-old me would kick 20 or 30-year-old me's ass all day long. Like all day long. And just so you guys know, like the whole transformation thing, which, you can read about it. I've got episodes on the podcast where I go into detail and whatnot. But I started the weight loss. Then my wife lost 80 pounds. She's now a gym girl. She
Wow.
is gorgeous. I don't know how I pulled that, by the way. I have no idea how I did that. That must have been the Spanish charm bullshit or something. I don't know. But whatever the reason. So our middle son is a competitive rock climber. He's about to go climb Half Dome Yosemite, and he was on the USA Climbing League for years. I mean, all of these things from wanting to be healthy have led, and bodybuilding, I hope one of the reasons I'm so big on it is that it's such a healthy sport if you do it the right way to help you not just enjoy like the competitive aspect but the health benefits that you get that people don't realize. It's not just a bunch of meatheads. There's science behind this. There's health, there's longevity, there's all these things that are beneficial if you do it right, if you approach it from that perspective. So anyway, so thank
Plus,
you, by the way,
plus,
Ali.
plus, you wind up in those boardrooms. You wind up getting an intimidation factor and a magnetism about you that otherwise you wouldn't get. When people see you walk into a room and
Hmm.
you've got a nice fitted suit, or you come in and you look healthy, you look jag, even
Hmm.
if it's a polo on or something. Everybody has to respect that level of discipline, focus, and dedication.
Yeah.
And they look themselves in the mirror and go, "Do I have that? I don't have that." And they're
I,
busy looking at you, thinking about you, than even focusing on business at hand. So you
so
want to have an advantage.
You're so right. I actually had a boss one time. We did a retreat or some weekend activity. After I had lost the weight, he knew me from before. He knew me from like when I was super heavy. I lost a total of, from my heaviest to my stage weight was 120 pounds
Jeez, that's a
total.
person. Oh my God,
Yeah,
dude.
that's a whole other human.
Right.
So,
Oh my gosh.
this was the first time he'd seen me in like a polo shirt, like short sleeves. And he said, dude, that bicep vein, that's like driving up here in a Ferrari, bro. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you don't get that accidentally, that it's to your point, Alim, it's a show. It's the result of a healthy lifestyle,
Mhm.
you know, and it is amazing when you do walk into a room. You're right. You know, that's something that I've noticed in the last 8 years since the change. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, yeah. All right. Final question. Last one. The final question is, if someone is sitting on the couch and they're watching your show thinking about stepping on stage, what would you tell them?
Phil.
I would say take the leap, because bodybuilding teaches you so much about yourself that you would never have known. It teaches you how to become disciplined, how to build routine, structure, commitment. It turns you, going to the gym, you could go into the gym feeling one way and you leave the gym feeling something completely different. It will challenge you, but it will, make you the person that you become. It will help shape your identity. And at the end of the day, like, jumping on stage and winning the pro card and winning the overall isn't the most important thing in the world. Just making the commitment to yourself and doing something that 99% of the world won't be able to ever achieve is an accomplishment within itself. So if our show helps someone make that change, whether it be a lifestyle change, whether it be, just becoming more fitter, becoming more active, going to the gym, doing something that you may never have thought to do before, or who knows, even one day jumping on stage, winning the show, becoming the pro, being an Olympian. Maybe we may even find a Olympian or a Mr. Olympia winner who just watched our show and just started today. That would mean the world to us. So yeah, take the leap, take the risk, and just have fun doing it.
Man, what an amazing inspirational thing it would be to have that Olympia or show winner say, like, yeah, I was watching the Men's Physique show and I said, you know what? I can do that. Let me do that. That would be phenomenal.
That'll be that'll be amazing.
That's called
Yeah,
impact.
absolutely.
Yep.
Maybe they're out there somewhere. I reckon they're out there somewhere. One of the Horde members.
One of the
Let's go.
Horde. There's going to be a couple Horde members that are going to surprise us, I will bet, in the next few years.
Oh, we've been seeing some updates recently, and I'm not even gonna lie. Some of these guys look wow, like
They look
super
crazy.
impressive. Yeah, let's
See
go.
what
Horde.
you started. Yeah, see what you started with the Horde, man. You started it. Well, gentlemen, it has been an absolute, genuine pleasure having you on the show. So to everyone watching, hit like, subscribe to these guys' channel. This is important. Do yourself a favor. Learn about men's physique. Get inspired. Get healthy. Get involved. Compete. Be the best version of yourself. Improve a little bit, 1% every single day, and you will be. There are no limits. That's all I'm gonna leave this with. So, gentlemen, with that, thank you so much, and maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Thank
Hope
you.
so.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Gonzalo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gonzo.
Absolutely, gents. Thank you.
Peace.